conducted in the traditional in-person format here at City Hall. For convenience, the public may view the meeting virtually on the official YouTube channel of the City of Warrenville. Public comment will only be available in person during the meeting. Remote access is for viewing purposes only. May I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Ashour,
Here.
Alderman Augustinovich,
Here.
Alderman Berry,
Here.
Alderman Davalos,
Here.
Alderman Kruckenberg,
Here.
Alderman Lockett,
Here.
Alderman Widener,
Here.
and Alderman Wilkie.
Here.
Thank you, Julie. Would you stand as you are able and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance Okay, this is the part of the meeting that we always set aside for citizens' comments. We have two folks who've signed up this evening. Maury Goodman, we'll let Maury go first, and Bob Siebert second.
Good evening. I'm speaking to you tonight as the president of the Wheaton chapter of the League of Women Voters. The League of Women Voters is an organization over 100 years old. It grew out of the women's suffrage movement, and it aims to provide education about elections and also advocacy. The Wheaton chapter serves 5 communities: Carroll Stream, Warrenville, West Chicago, Wheaton, and Winfield, and we have 130 members. It's, again, both an advocacy, but it's a nonpartisan organization which doesn't support or oppose any candidate. We're in the throes of beginning to think about the April elections in which local candidates are elected, and I know some of you will be running for re-election. There probably will not be a Warrenville Candidates Night, but there will be video voter guides that we will provide to all of the voters to allow them to understand who's running for office and why. Of course, not only for the city council, but for park board, library board, school board, and so forth. Many people in the local elections run unopposed, but it's still of great value for someone who's running unopposed to put forward to the voters what they stand for and what they think about each election cycle. Of course, not only do we have the April election coming up, but there's a large election coming up in November. We have had a series of candidate nights. We have had some League of Women Voters sponsored information sessions about the referenda. Here in the Warrenville voters will have a referendum about the Forest Preserve, a referendum about 708 board for those who live in Winfield Township, and there's a referendum in District 200. And there's information about all of those things on the League of Women Voters site. It's a national site. It's vote411.org. You can go there, you can find out your registration status, you can find out what's on the ballot, you can find links to all of the candidates in their own words with their information. So if you haven't voted already, we urge everyone to vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Maury. Bob?
Bob Siebert, Albright Court. Just like to add, Maury forgot one. It's a state referendum on a 3% additional fee. So everybody should look at that because it will affect the majority of the small businessmen, because many of the small businesses are the actual force of the economy. And this would be adding to these individuals 3%. Tonight, I want to go over the Earhart development. The city purchased the old Warrenville Wendell property, 2005, for $2.2 million. Then the city continued, removing the building, cleaning up the site, adding another $2 million of cost. Then the city sold the property to Earhart for $338,000, 8% of the total cost that the city had spent. The other 92% is paid for by taxpayers. Taxpayers pick that up. 100% of cost is the break-even point. If you're less than 100% on the sales, the taxpayers are paying. Now the city has two properties at Batavia and Warrenville Road. Hopefully, the city has been keeping track of both in-house and out-of-house costs for all the improvements and the necessary cleanup expenditures. It's hard to set a selling price without costs. So what percent of the total cost will the new developers be paying? 100%, 70%, 50%, 40%? Because whatever they don't pay, the taxpayers will pay. On a side note, a judge in the state of Virginia has ruled against the infill ordinance, or the missing middle, stating that it harms the existing property owners financially.
Thank you, Bob. We'll move on to official and staff comments. I have nothing to add this evening, clerk. Okay, treasurer, okay, you're good. Alderman? Everybody's good? Very good. Administrator's not here. Attorney?
Anything for me?
Okay, I do have our finance director, Kevin Dahlstrand, has something he'd like to add this evening. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As you know, we've been going through a process of changing our water billings, both our cycles and how often it's billed. And we are doing that as we move toward a more efficient system when our new ERP is up and running. The goal here is not to make things more difficult, but to improve on what we've been doing and go even further and allow for a lot of these things to be done online with greater efficiency than we're able to do now. It has caused a lot of consternation around the community as everybody does not understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. To that end, on the city's website at www.warrenville.il.us, we have a new FAQ sheet that went out today regarding water and sewer bill changes. It covers about 13 of the highest asked questions we've had over the recent weeks, and it should provide everybody with an answer to the questions that they've been asking. If it does not provide that answer, feel free to call City Hall and we will help you with all of those answers. Again, we're trying to make this a much easier and more useful process for our residents, who will ultimately be able to access their bills online, pay bills online, and do all of those things that they cannot do now.
Very good. I know this has been difficult, but we're going to get there, right?
We will get there, absolutely.
We'll get there. Thank you, Kevin. Thanks for taking care of all of these things that pop up. Okay, we'll move on to the approval of the agenda for this evening. Alderman Widener, would you like to make that motion?
Yes, thank you. I move to approve the agenda for the October 21st, 2024 City Council regular meeting.
Second?
Okay. Motion,
In a
second. Alderman Berry,
I'd like to remove,
did we get the second? I don't,
Yes.
oh, very good, thank
I
you.
would like to remove F.
Okay,
I think it's F.
Motioner agrees.
okay,
Thank you.
all right, so any other discussion of the agenda? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have two sets of minutes that need to be approved also. Alderman Widener, would you like to make that motion?
Yes, thank you. I move to approve the minutes of the October 7th, 2024 City Council regular meeting and to approve the minutes of the October 14th, 2024 Public Works and Infrastructure Committee meeting.
Second?
Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The minutes are approved as presented. The consent agenda for this evening, item 6A. Accept staff recommendation, waive second reading and pass ordinance 02024-42, amending City Code Title III, Chapter 2, increasing the number of Class A3 liquor licenses from 1 to 2. B, accept Public Works and Infrastructure Committee recommendation, waive second reading and pass ordinance 02024-43, approving an easement agreement, for the installation and maintenance of a fire hydrant at 3 South 481 Batavia Road. C, accept Public Works and Infrastructure Committee recommendation and pass Resolution R2024-65, waiving competitive bidding and approving a contract with NCAP Incorporated for riverbank restoration along the West Branch DuPage River. D, accept Public Works and Infrastructure Committee recommendation and pass Resolution R2024-66, approving change order number 3 for the construction services for 2024 OTRS number 2, Phase 1, and utility improvements construction services with Engineering Resource Associates Incorporated. E, accept Public Works and Infrastructure Committee recommendation and pass Resolution R2024-67, approving a professional services agreement with Thomas Engineering Group LLC for design engineering services related to the Shaw Drive Area Street Rehabilitation Project in the amount of $68,000 plus reimbursable expenses. F, accept F is out, I'm sorry, yep. I see I can't put a circle on here. I'm used to that. G, receive and file minutes of the Bicyclist and Pedestrian Advisory Commission meeting held on August 13th, 2024. H, receive and file minutes of the Environmental Advisory Commission meeting held on September 17th, 2024. I, receive and file draft minutes of the Plan Commission Zoning Board of Appeals meeting held on October 10th, 2024. J, receive and file report of invoices paid up to October 16th, 2024 in the amount of $164,995.90. And K, authorize expenditures for invoices due on or before November 4th, 2024 in the amount of $301,517.07. Alderman Widener?
Motion to approve the agenda as presented by Mayor David Brummel.
Second.
Second by Alderman Davalos. May I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Augustinovich.
Aye.
Alderman Lockett.
Aye.
Alderman Widener.
Aye.
Alderman Krokenberg.
Aye.
Alderman Wilkie.
Aye.
Alderman Berry.
Aye.
Alderman Ashour.
Aye.
And Alderman Davalos.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll move on to the regular agenda. We have one item.
F.
Oh. See, I can't write it down and it just
I know.
escapes me. All right.
Okay.
Would you like to make the motion?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to accept Public Works and Infrastructure Committee recommendation and approve the purchase of 10 Lenovo ThinkBook 16-inch laptops for elected officials and authorize the installation of low-voltage wiring in council chambers if necessary.
Second.
Second by Alderman Wilkie. Discussion. Alderman Berry, would you like to begin that?
Yes, I just would like to say thank you, finally, to everyone on the staff that worked for for this because, and Alma, who did an excellent job. We've been waiting for this for years. I know that I myself and several of the other aldermen, I've talked about this and we've tried to get it on into the budget for years, and it's finally happened, and I'm very happy. We won't have to have all these papers anymore, and I think it's a really, really good thing. So I'd like to thank everybody on staff that worked for that.
Great.
That's it.
Thank you. I hope there's just a little thing that I can write on with.
Just need a little piece of paper to the side to write a little note.
Yeah, a little cheat sheet. So some of us are getting ready for this already, so thank you for those comments. I think we all will benefit from this. It'll be a much better arrangement.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. This does involve the expenditure of funds, so I need a roll call.
On 6F.
6F.
Seth.
Yeah.
Krockenberg.
Aye.
Alderman Davalos.
Aye.
Alderman Berry.
Aye.
Alderman Wilkie.
Aye.
Alderman Augustinovich.
Nay.
Alderman Lockett.
Aye.
Alderman Widener.
Aye.
And Alderman Ashour.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. Now we'll move on to the regular agenda. Would someone like to make the motion for 7A? Alderman Lockett.
I'd like to make a motion to accept staff recommendation, waive second reading, and pass ordinance 02-024-44, approving a budget amendment to the fiscal year 2025 budget in the amount of $352,887 to increase the funding for tax increment financing district number 4 impact payments to overlapping districts.
Second.
Motion and a second, and I want to call on Finance Director Dahlstrand to give the people at home a little idea what this is all about. Kevin?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As required, we issue impact pay payments to both School District 200 as well as the Library District. Our original estimates could not foresee how many students would be in these districts by the time we got up to the actual year that we're in now, which is in 2024. So our previous estimates undershot how many students would actually be in the district and are actually in that TIF area. So as a result, we do need to amend our budget to include the additional funding to make those overlapping district payments, and the projections for TIF 4 into the out years have also been updated, which we'll be sharing with you in the near future.
Okay. Questions from anyone? Alderman Lockett.
Can we tell them no? No.
No, we cannot tell
Oh,
them
they
no.
know where we are? Okay. How does this affect the budget for the rest of the year? And where will we be taking those funds from?
It all comes out of TIF number 4 incremental revenue, and there's no negative impact on the fund at all.
Okay, great. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay. Anyone else? Alderman Davalos.
Thank you. So I'm just curious, do you have any indication where the majority of those kids are coming from, or is it just sort of all over probably a lot of the new housing we built out in Fort, right?
So actually, as a part of the reporting from the school district, they tell us exactly which units, which buildings, which grade level the students are coming from.
Wow.
And we track it from year to year. As you would guess, there are a number coming from Lexington and from Everton, more, I think, from Everton than Lexington. There are 2 additional buildings to go in the Lexington development, so we'll see if that changes over time. Overall, the student population, if you look at all of those developments in total, is less than 5% of the total population of those 2 areas.
Okay, so it's the new construction that yeah, okay. Thank you.
Right. Anyone else with the question? Alderman Krockenberg.
Is there any impact for next year and the years after? And if there is, what would that be?
We're tag teaming this one. So Again, there's 2 buildings left to go in the Lexington development, so we anticipate that it's possible there might be a few additional students in that. We don't expect as dramatic of an increase as we saw in the last year, as a significant amount of construction was completed and occupancies were approved in both of those developments. As time goes on in TIF number 4, if we do have additional residential developments proposed, it may increase the number of children over time, and we'll continue to evaluate that as proposals come forward.
Can I also add that, as I mentioned, as of right now, we've projected into the future years.
Kevin, use the mic, please.
Oh, sorry.
The mic? Oh, you've got it.
It's on.
Oh, it blended right in with your shirt. I didn't even see it.
As I mentioned earlier, we have projected into the future based on our current year's projections, and we do periodically adjust those as well. And it will adjust those as more information becomes available to us.
Okay. You good?
Thank you.
All right, if there are no further questions, could I have a roll call again, please?
Does the mayor vote on a budget amendment?
Mayor would not, the mayor would not vote if there's an appropriate,
Point of order.
I can check for you.
Maury?
Budget amendment requires votes from the entire corporate authorities, which includes the mayor, at least it used to. So unless that's changed.
I can verify that. I guess the other option would be for you to vote, Mayor, and if for some reason your vote would not count, I assume we have the votes regardless,
Yes. I'm happy with that. That's fine.
but I will double check.
Yep. Go ahead.
Alderman Lockett,
Aye.
Alderman Wilkie,
Aye.
Alderman Davalos,
Aye.
Alderman Weidner,
Aye.
Alderman Ashower, Alderman Krokenberg,
Aye.
Alderman Berry,
Aye.
Alderman Augustinovich,
Aye.
and Mayor Brummel.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries. All right, very good. We have nothing listed under unfinished business, the same for the new business category. No need for a closed session this evening. We do need a motion to adjourn. Alderman Lockett is ready.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And Alderman Davalos has picked up the slack for the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.